Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, and as I told you, it, as I've been telling you, there's been like a couple of retro No Mercy reviews that I want to make. So, yeah, so these are going to be the start of those retro No Mercy reviews. And here I am with the first No Mercy review that I wanted to make. And this is going to be a review of No Mercy 2003. So, yeah, overall, yeah, this was a pretty good to great show. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this was just a SmackDown second exclusive pay per view, and yeah, and this really is just once again another example of just like how um great the SmackDown product was at the time. I mean, yeah, as I said before, back when I did review of Vengeance 2003. I was saying before how SmackDown really did have a great product at the time, and yeah, and of course, like this was still SmackDown in 2003, so yeah, this was still like SmackDown probably like kind of did like dip in quality a little bit at this point compared to like how they were earlier in the year, but yeah, SmackDown was still like a great product like at the time. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, and the show really just does once again show that. I mean, yeah, this show was like a really good to great show. I mean, there really wasn't anything bad on the show. I mean, yeah, there weren't like some matches that really like weren't weren't like as good, but I mean they weren't terrible. Like there were still like every match on the show is still at least decent. I mean, yeah, yeah, and yeah, just throughout the show, I mean, yeah, it is just a pretty enjoyable show for pretty much from start to finish. I mean, in the last two matches, the show does like kind of dip in quality a little bit. Like the last two matches are just like really kind of do drop the show down a little bit, but yeah, they don't like ruin the show. Like the show still is overall like a really good to great show. Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, you just have like a really enjoyable card from start to finish, and yeah, there weren't really any bad matches on the show, and yeah, and you even did have like a few matches that were like really real that were really good, and yeah, there was even like like a great match on the show. Yeah, and yeah, this match even does have like a couple of like hidden gems on it as well. So yeah, so if you haven't seen the show before, I would suggest trying it down. Like go on the network and watch the show. Like yeah, this yeah, you will definitely get like a lot of enjoyment out of the show. Yeah. Yeah, just yeah. Though yeah, some people can just be like really stupid sometimes. I remember a while back I was watching a highlight video of this pay per view, and yeah, there was like some idiot on the video that left a comment saying that this was literally the worst pay per view ever, and there was nothing good about it. What you know, it just can piss me off at how stupid people can be like that. This show had plenty of good on it. There was nothing bad on it at all. So yeah, just yeah, these it's just so pathetic how stupid people can be sometimes. Yeah, because yeah, this is a really good to great show, and there's nothing bad on the show. Yeah, I mean, I know that the show really does like have something that may like there's a certain match on the show that may like offend some people, and yeah, you probably know what match I'm talking about. I will get to it in this review, but yeah, even then, like the match was still like overall still a solid match. Like, yeah, you know, I mean, just the side of like that concept for the match, it is like a pretty disturbing concept, but yeah, still like it didn't really go too far. Yeah, like I said, you probably know what match I'm talking about, and I will get to it in this review. But yeah, but yeah, it was still a solid match, and yeah, just there really wasn't anything bad on the show. Like I said, like every match was at least decent. So yeah. So like I said, like if you haven't seen the show before, yeah, I would definitely say check it out. It is like a really good to maybe even great show. All right. So let me just talk about the card of the show. Yeah. So the show opened up with the Cruiserweight Championship on the line. It was Tajiri defending against Rey Mysterio. And yeah, this was a really good match right here. I mean, really, I don't hear a lot of people really talking about the Rey Mysterio Tajiri feud in 2003. I mean, yeah, it was like a really, really good feud, and I really did enjoy it. I mean, yeah, this was possibly Tajiri's like best work in the WWE. I remember like Leonard did say that in his review for the show. Oh yeah, and I really did enjoy like the Rey Mysterio Tajiri feud. I remember like I really did enjoy the match that they did have on SmackDown when Tajiri actually did win the Cruiserweight title from Rey Mysterio. Yeah, and I remember, like, yeah, this was during the time where Tajiri was, like, kind of, like, pretty sadistic. Yeah, just on the previous episode of SmackDown before the show was when Tajiri spit that black mist in Nydia's face and blinded her for a point. And, yeah, and this was a really good match right here. Yeah. Yeah, it just had some very it had really good back and forth in ring action. It had a lot of counters in it. Yeah, I did like at one point in the match how when Rey Mysterio tried to go for like the West Coast pop on Tajiri countered it and just turned it into a power bomb. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, they also did like do a lot of counters in the match. Like, yeah, Rey Mysterio was able to like as Tajiri was trying to do his like backflip that he does, like Rey Mysterio was able to just drop kick Tajiri. Yeah, and yeah, there were just like some other counters like throughout the match as well. Like it was a really good back and forth match. Yeah. And then when it looked like Rey Mysterio actually did have the match won, then you just had like some run-ins from like it, what seemed to be a couple of fans trying to get in the ring. Yeah, but yeah, it was later revealed that this was actually those two fans were actually Akio and Sakota, who, yeah, as you probably know if you watch the WWE at this time, yeah, they like became Tajiri's henchmen for a period after this. So yeah, so this was like Akio and Sakota's debut in the WWE. Yeah, and they distracted the referee, and then that allowed Tajiri to hit the buzzsaw kick on Rey Mysterio and get the pin. So yeah, Tajiri retained the Cruiserweight Championship. So yeah, this was a really good match, and yeah, just a very forgotten gem right here. Just yeah, like I said, this was probably Tajiri's best work in the WWE. So yeah, a really good match and a really awesome way to start the show. I would probably give that 3.5 stars. Yeah, and then next up, then it was A-Train versus Chris Benoit. And yeah, this was another really good match right here. I really do feel that this is like one of the this is one of the more realistic, like big man versus little man match. Yeah, yeah, because yeah, this was done like in a real believable way. Hey, with how like a bigger guy and a smaller guy face off against each other, and yeah, and it was a really good match. I mean, yeah, for the majority of the match, like A-Train was dominating it. Yeah, yeah, for like yeah, early on in the match, like A-Train was dominant for a point in the match, yeah. And then Chris Benoit started to battle back, and yeah, and the match just like kind of went back and forth, yeah. Though, yeah, there was like a pretty scary botch in this match where at one point, like A-Train tried to do like a military press onto to Chris Benoit onto a steel chair, but yeah, like I don't know what happened. I don't know if like Chris Benoit just like slipped or like if A-Train actually like dropped him or hopped him by losing his grip or what, but yeah, Chris Benoit ended up like falling and just like landed head first onto the chair. So yeah, kind of like a scary botch right there. I mean, yeah, that really didn't help Chris Benoit with like the head trauma that he took to lead him to do what he did. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. Yeah, that's another story. But yeah, there was that scary botch. But then yeah, Chris Benoit seemed to like be okay after that. Yeah, and yeah, and then yeah, Chris Benoit and A-Train just continued to go at it, and then yeah, then as like A-Train tried to like kick Chris Benoit in the head, like Chris Benoit moved out of the way, and yeah, A-Train ended up like kicking the chair, and then yeah, that ended up like hurting his like foot, and then yeah, then Chris Benoit was able to like get the sharpshooter in on A-Train, and then A-Train ended up like tapping out. And Chris Benoit ended up getting the win. But yeah, this was like a really, really good match. Yeah, this was probably A-Train's best match in his WWE career. Yeah, like I said, this was like really one of the more realistic and believable big man, little man matches. So yeah, that was a really good match too. So I would give that probably 3.5 stars as well. Yeah. Yeah. Then next up, then we had Zach Gowen versus Matt Hardy. And yeah, of course, like this match was supposed to happen a couple months earlier at SummerSlam, but yeah, of course, like Brock Lesnar ended up like breaking Zach Allen's leg, so the match couldn't happen. But yeah, the match finally did happen here, and yeah, this was decent enough, I guess. I mean, yeah, it was just kind of like a little back and forth match. I mean, yeah, Zach Allen just doing what he could do on his one leg. Yeah, Zach Allen, like at this point, he was pretty much like reduced down to like the mid card right type of feuds. Yeah, like back during the summer, like when he during his like initial debut, yeah, like yeah, he was like kind of like working more with like the bigger main event guys, but yeah, now like at this point, yeah, he was just like kind of like reduced down to like working with the mid card guys. Yeah, but yeah, Zach Allen was able to do just fine in the match. Yeah, Matt Hardy like just did what he did. Like, you know, like Shannon Moore, of course, like was trying to get involved at a couple points in the match. And yeah, and the match was just kind of like went on for like 5 minutes. Yeah, it was just like a back and forth match, and then yeah, as Matt Hardy was trying to like German suplex Zach Allen or Allen from the turnbuckle, Zach Allen was able to fight off Matt Hardy and knock him off the turnbuckle. And then Zach Allen was able to hit a springboard moonsault onto Matt Hardy and got the pin. So yeah, Zach Allen got the win. And yeah, this was like Zach Allen's like first big official win in his WWE career. So yeah. So yeah, it was a yeah. So the match was a decent enough, I guess. I would probably give that probably 2.25. Yeah. Yeah. Then next up, then we had the APA versus the Basham Brothers, and yeah, and this was all right too. I mean, yeah, this was I guess this match was just kind of just used as a filler match. Yeah, this match was just like made on a Sunday Night Heat early in the night. So yeah, yeah. So I guess this was just used as a filler match, and yeah, it was fine. I mean, yeah, it was just like back and forth action between both teams. Yeah, they got each team just like like battled it out with each other. It just kind of like went back and forth. And then when it looked like the APA had the match won, then Shaniqua then ended up coming. Yeah, about a month earlier, like she was laid out by Bradshaw. Yeah, and here Shaniqua made her return, and then she like nailed Bradshaw with a nightstick or something, and then that allowed the Bashams to then and get the pin, and so yeah, the Basham brothers won the match. So the match was all right. All right. I mean, yeah, like I said, this was just used as a filler match, and I guess it served its purpose just fine. So yeah, I would give that match probably 2.5 stars. All right, and here is what I was talking about. Here is like probably what people do know the show for, and it's probably like I said, this is like what some people would probably find offensive and be offended by it. Yeah. Next up, then we had the father versus daughter I Quit match with Vince McMahon versus Stephanie McMahon. And yeah, and everybody know about this match probably. Yeah, this was like in this match, like both their jobs were on the line. Yeah, Stephanie, whose job as SmackDown general manager was on the line, and Vince McMahon's job as the chairman of the board was on the line. And in this match, of course, like you also had a Sable in Vince's corner, and you had a Linda McMahon in Stephanie's corner. Yeah, and plus, yeah, Vince also like added a stipulation to this match earlier on in the show where Stephanie could also like win this match by pinning Vince. So yeah, he kind of like gave Stephanie a little bit more of a chance at winning. Yeah. So yeah, and like I said, this is like what some people will probably find offensive about the show because, yeah. So I've heard like both ways about this match. Like some people really do like see this as kind of like offensive, and yeah, some people do like find the concept of this disturbing with like just like Vince like beating up his own daughter or like this. Yeah, and I've also heard like some people say that they do enjoy this match. Yeah, and I really do understand it both ways. Like I told you guys just a little bit ago that I about like a highlight video of this pay-per-view that I had seen. Yeah, and I remember seeing a comment on that video, like, well, yeah, a couple of guys like kind of like arguing about like the match like being good, while others like well, like another person said like that was disturbing, and yeah, people are like uh sick for enjoying the match. I mean, I can really like it makes sense to feel either way about this match. I mean, yeah, like I said, like this is like a pretty disturbing concept of a big man beating up his daughter like this. I mean, I remember I was like pretty uncomfortable with it myself back then. Like I remember I was 9 years old at the time, and I didn't actually watch this pay per view live, but I do remember like everything Vince was doing to Stephanie like on SmackDown in the weeks leading up to the show. Yeah, and even like when this match was announced, I was like pretty uncomfortable with it myself back then. Yeah, yeah. But at the same time, I mean, this match overall, like this was actually like a pretty good match. I think that this match was just about as good as you could expect it to be. Yeah. And plus, like this match didn't really go too far. I mean, yeah, this could have really been something like where Vince was just like beating the whole bloody hell out of Stephanie, and just like Stephanie was just like like bleeding to a pulp and stuff. Like, yeah. And that's not how this match turned out. Like, it didn't really go too far. Like, there wasn't like Stephanie wasn't bleeding or anything in the match. Like, it's not something where it looked like Stephanie was going to die. Yeah, that's not nothing like anything like that was going to happen. Yeah. Plus, Stephanie did like get in like a lot of offense in this match. Like she was able to fight Vince back, and yeah, like it's not something where like Stephanie was like just getting beaten brutally through the whole thing without any offense. Like she did actually get offense in the match. Yeah, and and yeah, and then like Sable was trying to get involved at a couple of points in the match, and like Linda was like just going after Sable at a couple of points, and then at one point, as like Linda was actually attacking Sable, Vince like tried to grab Linda, but Linda just slapped Vince, and then yeah, then Stephanie then just was beating Vince with a pipe. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it actually did look out like at a couple of points that Stephanie was actually going to win. Yeah, yeah, but then yeah, then eventually then yeah, Vince then like fought back at Stephanie, and then yeah, Vince got a hold of the pipe, and then he nailed Stephanie with it. Yeah, and then Vince was then like choking Stephanie with the pipe, but yeah, Stephanie just like wouldn't quit. Yeah, and then yeah, Linda was just watching the whole thing, and then yeah, Linda just like couldn't watch it anymore, and then yeah, Linda then just like stopped the match by throwing in the towel. So then yeah, then that's when the match was then called, and yeah, Vince was declared the winner. So yeah, and then yeah, then after this, then of course like Stephanie like lost her job as general manager of SmackDown, and then yeah, then on the following episode of SmackDown, Paul Heyman was named the new general manager. Yeah, yeah, and I just remember her like well to this day, I just kind of like felt that there was some like potential for something to come out of like Linda throwing in the towel to stop the match. Yeah, like I felt like something could have happened like 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 historically through this like have some years pass, and then like have like Stephanie like just blame Linda for her losing her job as the SmackDown general manager. Like I felt like they could have like done something similar to like what Bob Backlund did in 1994 to Arnold Skolin, after like Arnold Skolin like threw in the towel for Bob Backlund's match against the Iron Sheik in 1983, which cost him the championship. I really felt that something could have come out of like Linda throwing in the towel here, but yeah, nothing ever did come out of it. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, this match overall, I actually did enjoy it. Like, I actually thought it was pretty good. Like, it really does make sense to feel like either way about it. The concept of this match with like Vince beating up Stephanie like this, like the like like the concept of that is like pretty disturbing, but at the same time, the match overall, it was still like a solid match. So yeah, so nobody is really like a sick or a monster to enjoy the match, and nobody is really being like sensitive to be offended by it. Like both both cases do make sense. So yeah, so all I can say is just yeah, check it out and just decide for yourself whether you find it offensive or if you do enjoy it, because yeah, both point of views do make sense. So yeah, but I actually did enjoy this match, so I would probably give that about 3 stars. Yeah. And then next up, then we had the match of the night. It was Kurt Angle versus John Cena. And yeah, this was a freaking great match right here. Yeah, this was is probably John Cena's best match in the company up to this point. Yeah, I mean, this match was just absolutely awesome. I mean, just some great back and forth action between Kurt Angle and John Cena. Yeah, what's interesting is that this is still to this day John Cena's last pay-per-view as a heel. So, yeah, I mean, just, yeah, 17 years later, just, yeah, this is still the last pay-per-view with John Cena as a heel. Yeah, but yeah, this was a great match. Some great back and forth action between the two of them. Yeah, there were some like great counters in the match. Yeah, they like were able to counter each other's signature moves and their finishers and all that. Yeah, one one spot in the match I found really awesome was that when John Cena and Kurt Angle were like battling it out on the ring apron, and John Cena actually DDT'd Kurt Angle on the edge of the ring. Yeah, I found that really awesome. Yeah, and it just had some great back and forth action between Angle and Cena. Yeah, they just gave each other like move after move, and it just continued to go back and forth. And yeah, this was just really friggin' awesome. Yeah, and they also ended up surviving each other's finishing moves. Like, yeah, Kurt Angle ended up surviving the FU from John Cena, and John Cena also survived the Angle Slam from Kurt Angle. Yeah, at one point, John Cena actually like powerbombed Kurt Angle, well, right until the turnbuckle. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was like Kurt Angle's head and neck actually hit the turnbuckle. Yeah. Yeah. And then at one point, like, John Cena tried to hit Kurt Angle with his chain, but yeah, the referee, like, disarmed John Cena from that. But then as the referee was getting the chain out of the ring, John Cena then, like, nailed Kurt Angle with his gold medal. Yeah, but Kurt Angle survived that. Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah. Then, as John Cena tried to go for the FU again, then Kurt Angle then just got John Cena in an ankle lock, and then, yeah, John Cena then eventually tapped out. So, yeah, Kurt Angle got the win. So, yeah. But, yeah, this match was absolutely awesome. I mean, like I said, this was probably John Cena's best match in the company up to this point. Like, yeah, just, yeah. I mean, just, yeah, Kurt Angle could really, like, get a great match out of anyone like this. So, yeah. So, yeah, this match was just freaking awesome. Like, yeah, like I said, like I've already said, like, check this show out if you haven't seen it, but yeah, definitely check out this match. Yeah, this match was freaking awesome. So yeah, so I would give this match 4.25. Freaking great match. Yeah, and then yeah, this is kind of like when the show does kind of like a drop in quality. Like, yeah, the last two matches on the show really they weren't bad matches, but yeah, they were kind of they really didn't like deliver as great as like pretty much everything else did prior to this point. Yeah, but yeah, then next up, then we had the United States Championship on the line. Eddie Guerrero defending against Big Show. I remember the segment on SmackDown between these two, like leading up to the show. Yeah, yeah, the segments between the two were just like really enjoyable. Yeah, there was like Eddie Guerrero giving Big Show the burritos with laxatives in them. There was like Eddie Guerrero just spraying Big Show with sewage. Yeah, and then on the previous episode of SmackDown before this, you had a Big Show just brutally assaulting Eddie Guerrero and just like throwing him constantly into the lowrider and even choke slamming him on the top of it. Yeah, and for this match, like you just saw like all the scars and bandages on Eddie Guerrero's back from that assault. Yeah, and this match, it was good. Like, it was a good match, but yeah, nothing more than that. It was just good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, all those segments on SmackDown were definitely much enjoyable than this match, but yeah, this match was still good. Yeah, I mean, Eddie Guerrero was able to do just fine with, like, the injuries in his back and stuff, yeah. And yeah, it was just kind of like did go back and forth. Like, Eddie Guerrero was just kind of being typical him, trying to do a bunch of cheating tactics. Yeah, Big Show was, of course, taking advantage of Eddie Guerrero's back. Like, yeah, Big Show, like, at one point, like, exposed one of the turnbuckles, and then, yeah, he, like, threw Eddie Guerrero back into the turnbuckle, yeah. And then, yeah, then at one point, the referee ended up getting knocked out, and then, yeah, Eddie Guerrero then tried to nail Big Show with like brass knucks and the U.S. title belt, but yeah, that couldn't finish off Big Show. Yeah, and then yeah, Big Show then was able to then like hit chokeslam on Eddie Guerrero, but yeah, he wasn't able to finish off Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero was able to get his foot on the rope from the pin. Yeah, but then yeah, Big Show then gave Eddie Guerrero a second chokeslam, and then that finished Eddie Guerrero off. Big Show was able to get the pin, and Big Show won the U.S. Championship. So yeah, and then yeah, then of course like then this was also like was after this also like was then like starting the more the tension between Eddie and Chavo as well, because yeah, of course like on the next episode of SmackDown, Eddie and Chavo lost their tag team titles, and that started the tension between them. But yeah, that's another story. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, this match was good, but yeah, the segments on SmackDown were more enjoyable than this. So yeah, so I would give that probably 3 stars. Yeah, and then we got the main event, the WWE Championship on the line. Brock Lesnar defending against The Undertaker in a biker chain match. So yeah, so I find it interesting. This was actually the second No Mercy in a row that Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker main evented. Yeah, of course, like the previous year they had the Hell in a Cell match. Yeah, and for the second year in a row, Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker main evented No Mercy. So I always found that interesting that they main evented for the second year in a row. But I was also kind of like annoyed that they didn't even acknowledge it. Like leading up to the show, like in on SmackDown, they never did acknowledge it, and even like in this match, during this match, they didn't even acknowledge it. Like Michael Cole did say at one point that they did meet last year, but he didn't actually specify that it was the previous No Mercy for their Hell in a Cell match. So yeah, I was a little bothered by that. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, this was a biker chain match. And what was a biker chain match? Well, it wasn't like the like other chain matches, like the chain match that Kane and Triple H had at Judgment Day 2001, where like they each like were linked to a chain, like the chain was like attached to their wrists. Yeah, it's not like Brock Lesnar and Undertaker were like linked together like that. All this really was just basically a chain on a pole match. Yeah, I mean they tried to pass this off as pretty much they do with every like object on a pole match, where just whoever can get to the chain suspended above the ring could like use it to beat the other one's skull in and stuff. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, whoever got to the chain was able to use it. Yeah, but yeah, I really don't like these kinds of matches. I really don't like these pole matches, just because there's a bunch of things in here that really yeah, there's just a number of factors for these kinds of matches that really do defeat the purpose of the gimmick. Yeah, and plus also just yeah, it also does kind of make the wrestlers do look stupid, because yeah, throughout the matches, these kinds of matches, like you have like the competitors trying to go for the object that's hanging on the pole, and yet the opponent is stopping them from retrieving it. Like once the object is like removed from the pole, like it just becomes it's fair game to use in the match. So it's just kind of making them look stupid for just preventing the opponent from retrieving the object. Just because let them retrieve the object and then attack them, and then you can get the object and use it yourself. Like really just. It really makes the wrestlers look stupid for stopping their opponent from retrieving the object when they can just let them retrieve it, then attack them, they lose the object, and then they can grab it for themselves and use it. Like just do that. It'll become like fair game in the match. Don't stop the opponent from trying to retrieve it. So yeah, it just makes them look stupid for stopping their opponent from retrieving the object when they can just let them do it, and then attack them, and then just grab the object for themselves. Yeah. And also, another factor here is that these objects don't even have to actually even technically be used in the match, because yeah, I mean technically you can just like pin the opponent before the item's even retrieved. So that really just kind of like defeat the purpose of the gimmick. Like the object doesn't even technically even actually need to be used in the match. It doesn't even need to actually be retrieved. So yeah, that really does kind of defeat the purpose of these types of matches. So yeah, just yeah, these matches just really don't work out because they aren't done right. Yeah. So yeah, so I didn't really like the biker chain gimmick for the match. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. Let me talk about this match itself. Uh, Once again, it was a good match, but this really wasn't as good as like their previous matches they had the previous year. Like their matches with like Unforgiven and the Hell in a Cell match were a lot better than this match. I mean, this was a solid enough match. I mean, the in ring action was solid, but yeah, they did look kind. Like I said, they look kind of stupid for like preventing the other from retrieving the chain, and when they can just let them do it and then attack them and just grab the chain for themselves and use it. Yeah. Yeah. Throughout this match, like there were like a few attempts where Undertaker tried to retrieve the chain, and yeah, he ended up being disrupted by like certain events going on. At one point, Undertaker tried to go for the chain, and the lights just like suddenly went out. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, they like just ended up like going back and it was kind of like a back and forth match. They stopped each other from retrieving the chain. Why? Yeah, and they were also like countering each other's signature moves throughout the match. Yeah. At one point, Brock Lesnar brought some steel steps into the match. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, the steel steps were used on each other. At one point, Brock Lesnar tried to like charge at the Undertaker with the steel steps, but Undertaker just kicked them right back into Brock Lesnar's face. Yeah. Then at one point, as they were fighting on the outside of the ring, the Undertaker tried to give a pile driver to Brock Lesnar on the steel steps. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure if like he connected or if Undertaker fell back and they both just hit the steps. I'm not really sure like what the outcome actually was. Yeah, it was kind of like it wasn't like fully like confirmed what it was. Like it just really the way it looked, you just really aren't exactly sure what happened. Yeah, but yeah, Undertaker also did survive the F5 at one point. Yeah, one spot in the match I really did like was at one point Brock Lesnar tried to go for the chain, but then yeah, Undertaker pulled Brock Lesnar off the turnbuckle by giving him just a chokeslam from the turnbuckle down to the canvas. So yeah, I thought that was a nice spot in the match. Yeah. Then yeah, Undertaker then tried to go for the chain again, but then was stopped by the FBI. The FBI then like ran him, but Undertaker disposed of them. Yeah, and the Undertaker then gave Brock Lesnar the last ride, and then the Undertaker was finally able to retrieve the chain. But after he retrieved it, then Vince McMahon then came from underneath the ring and then just pushed Undertaker off the turnbuckle and caused Undertaker to drop the chain. And then that then allowed Brock Lesnar to get a hold of the chain, and then Brock Lesnar nailed the Undertaker with the chain, and then that allowed Brock Lesnar to pin the Undertaker, and so Brock Lesnar ended up retaining the title. So like I said, this really was not as good as their matches the previous year at all. But the match was still overall it was solid enough. So like I said, I didn't really like the gimmick, and again, just all the factors I mentioned really just make the concept really stupid and stuff. Yeah, but the match overall it was solid enough. So I would probably give that 3.25. Yeah. So overall with the show, I would give it probably I guess I would give it a 7.75 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it had some this show was just like real pretty good to great. Hey, like there was really nothing bad on it throughout the whole show. Yeah, I mean, you had some really good matches on here. Yeah, some hidden gems with Rey Mysterio and Tajiri and Benoit and A-Train. Yeah, Kurt Angle versus John Cena was great, and and even the rest of the show overall, like I said, I mean, with the last two matches, it does dip into quality a little bit, but the show is still overall, it is still really good from start to finish. Everything is at least decent, like I said, and as I said, just as far as the Vince Stephanie match goes, check it out and draw your own conclusion. And it does make sense for you to feel either way about it. Whether you do enjoy it or if you do find it disturbing and are offended by it. Yeah, because like I said, I do understand both ways. So Yeah, but overall, yeah, this show is just, yeah, it is really, really good to great from start to finish. Like I said, if you haven't seen the show before, check it out. It is definitely worth a watch. All right, so yeah, so I guess that's all I can really say about it. All right, so I guess this is it for my review of No Mercy 2003. I hope you guys did enjoy this review, and yeah, and like I said, there is another No Mercy show that I would like to review as well. I'll probably review that sometime over the weekend. So yeah, stay tuned for my second No Mercy review coming up. All right, but I hope you guys did enjoy this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.